It's Florida Man Friday, you can't make the shit up. On this day, January 8th, a Florida man was arrested for drug charges and taken into custody by police. While Florida man was being searched by the Pinellas County jailer, they found something very intriguing, to say the least. During the strip search, they found 3 sharp syringes hiding in his rectum, but the kicker was he told them they were not his. So we found them in your butthole. It wasn't mine, but we found them in your butthole. It wasn't mine, but we found them in your butthole. It wasn't mine, but we found them in your butthole. It wasn't mine. Wait. What was that?
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. Now, look, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my friends and crew can get together and talk about all the things that we love, things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, music, and comedy, and so much more. And if those are things that get your blood pumping, if those are things that get you going crazy like a Florida man on a Friday, then ladies and gentlemen, you have found the right place. So please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know when we do cool, fun things like today. And speaking of cool, fun things, today is going to be a fun day because, I try every once in a while to bring you guys these hard-hitting interviews of people that I find that I feel that you guys need to know. I think that there are some people out there in the world that bring some joy to the world, that bring some happiness to the world, and you need to know who they are. And so today is one of those days because I would like to introduce you today to a woman named Sarah Hester Ross. I found her on TikTok, but sometimes somebody from someplace else and you don't quite know where you found them and where you first saw them. And come to find out, I've seen her many different places and many different things. She's very, very talented. And I don't usually read somebody's bio, and she's waiting back there. So she's waiting in the back room there. But I have to say this because this woman is so talented. And you guys know I play music and I've been around a lot of great musicians, but just watching her and seeing what she's done, I got to tell you a little bit about her first. And I don't usually read people's bios, but I got to skim through some of this because her bio says Sarah Hester Ross is a world traveling entertainer residing in Las Vegas, performing as a musical comedian. Now, you guys know I'm from Vegas, so I love this fact about her. She's awesome. Says she's got a dueling and solo piano player and other live performances as a singer-songwriter. She is so unique that there isn't a box created to put her in. Yet, with her soulful singer-songwriter chops, she is putting out original music that makes you think, man, she's just awesome. And I love what I've seen from her. We're going to get into some of the things that she's done and just talk to her. And she's going to share some music with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome with me to the Poindexter Lounge for the very first time, Sarah Hester Ross. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Enosh. Hi. How's everybody doing?
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm happy to be here. This is such a pro show, man. You're like intro and everything. And I'm just like, I'm standing here and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so professional. I don't know what I'm doing here.
We try. We want to put on the best professionalism that we can as I broadcast from a room full of toys.
It's very impressive because, there is a lot of really crappy shit out there. So you are set apart, my friend.
Well, thank you. Tell all your friends. Tell everyone that you see. Thank you so much. Now, Sarah, I came across you what I thought was the first time, during the spring and everything, because you're on TikTok, but you've you've been tearing it up for quite a while, like in the entertainment industry. You're out in Vegas, you know, you got a
I'm
show.
trying, man. I'm hustling as much as I possibly can. And yeah, I've been out in Vegas for almost 8 years now. And before then, I'm originally from Florida, Orlando. And so I lived in Orlando for about 7 years, 8 years,
Okay.
and did the Universal thing and stuff like that. But yeah, Vegas is my home. And normally in, regular circumstance, when there's not a plague going on. I am at the New York hotel at the bar at Times Square playing dueling pianos.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Now, Sarah, how did you get into music? Why music? Like, what was it that got you playing?
Well, playing college, but music just in general. I've had music in my house since I was born. My mom is retired now, but she was an elementary school music teacher for 37 years. And I can't remember a time in my life where I was not either being told to sing or singing on my own. My brother actually taught me how to sing harmonies when I was 4. So
Nice.
for musicians who understand that, like, I actually hear harmony first when I'm listening
wow.
to a song. It's weird. My brain just works like that when it comes to music, and it's because I just learned it at such a young age.
I envy that. I envy that because I've always been a lead singer. So I've like, even because when I was young, I grew up singing in church myself. And so my family was very musical. We were always doing things. I didn't play any instruments until I picked up a guitar at 15, but we were always singing. And I never really picked out harmonies a lot. And it wasn't a thing that I really worked on. And then I got a gig where it was like I had to sing backup and I wasn't the lead guy. And I was like, I had to go on tour and I'm like, dang, I'm like kicking my butt because I'm like, I could do this. I'm better than this. Like, and
well, it's a mind thing. I mean, if you're not used to it, it's just like I said, I learned it at a very young age. My mom and I used to do these mother-daughter banquets when I was very little, and we would do all these like Shirley Temple bits, like
oh, that's awesome.
Total stage mom stuff, and I again, and she would sing the lead and I would sing the harmonies like as like a 6-year-old, but it was cool.
That's really awesome. I work with so I'm a music pastor at my church.
Okay.
And so I have a mother-daughter combo that they came in and the daughter was trying out for the team, and she came in, she had a great voice and her mom's standing right there with her. And like her mom is like cool mom, right? She's got like a leather jacket on and she just kind of sit back, just kind of watching her daughter. And I'm watching her kind of over there humming, and she's like, my mom sings too. And like mom's like wearing like leopard shoes and this leather jacket. And I looked at her and I said, you guys sing together? And they go, oh yeah, we harmonize together. And then they just totally blew me away. Because I was singing with the daughter and just kind of playing something along with her. And then I just let them take over. And man, the harmonies were just,
there's nothing like family singing together because, and it's something that I have with my brother is a worship pastor as well.
Okay.
And we've been singing together for a long time. He was a opera major in college. He's got this beautiful legato voice. It's just gorgeous. But when we sing together, it's just, it's like, oh my gosh, they're related. And so when you see like a sibling or a parent and it's a blood thing, I think. So it just kind of meshes, more than, normal stranger.
It's just the strange people, the other people. You can always work together with the other people, but gotta have.
It doesn't click like the blood does. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I'm sorry. So you kind of grew up in a musical home. That was part of who you were and everything. And now you've made quite a leap. You're out in Vegas. You're doing this stuff. How did you get into the comedian aspect of that?
To get into the comedy stuff, I have to step back and get into the dueling piano stuff. Dueling pianos is kind of where I started getting to my original comedy. And to go there, I have to step back a little bit more. I was in.
We'll step all the way back. You know what? We could just go all the way back to the beginning and be like, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. We're going to start all over again, so we can go and do this right." All right.
Oh my gosh! I really thought there was a glitch, and I'm like, really starting over?
Well,
I've been on StreamYard before, where it's just like everything. All of a sudden, it's like,
oh yes, yes.
So I was with you, Irash. I was ready to go back to the beginning and be like, "Hi, everybody! I'm a professional."
I do that to people that I stream with every once in a while. Like something will happen and they'll mess up or whatever, and I'll go and like we're live, and I'll just say, okay, let's go do the countdown again.
You're mean. You're a mean man. Literally, my heart just sank. I'm like, wait, what am I doing?
Okay, so let's step back. Let's take it all the way back. Let's take it all the way back.
Okay, so I came out of my mom's. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that far back.
I saw a bright light, and I came and I was there.
No, so living in Orlando, I joined a couple musical theater touring shows, and in the midst of touring one of them, I had a vocal injury. And so I kind of had to bow out of musical theater for a while.
Okay.
And there was this dueling club in Orlando on iDrive called Howl at the Moon. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's kind of a chain.
Okay.
But I had a bartender friend of mine that was working there, and they said they were auditioning female piano players. And so I was like, okay, I have very little knowledge of piano because it was my secondary instrument in college because I was a vocal performance major. So I knew like my circle of fifths, and I knew, like the chord progressions of most pop songs is pretty simple 4-chord stuff. Yeah. So I auditioned and I got it. And I was really lucky because this specific club had some of the most amazing, talented duelers that you will ever see in your entire life. And not only were they good at the piano, but they had thousands of songs memorized. They were hilarious comedians on their own right. And if you've never been to a dueling piano bar, the comedy comes in when like there's a birthday or an anniversary or something. People will ask us to bring them up on stage, and we basically roast them with song. Yep. So parodies are used a lot. Oh, yeah. That's kind of when I was like, oh, this is fun. And I could use my comedic chops. I wasn't by any means a professional, but I had written a few parodies. And so I just started using my own stuff because everybody had their own bits. And so I wanted to use my own. Yeah. And that's kind of where the comedy started. And then once I got a pretty big rep of like original comedy parodies and stuff like that, I started going to open mics and trying to figure out if I could make it like a stand-up thing. Mm-hmm. I couldn't. It was really bad. It just, going into like comedy clubs and I have like a piano behind me and I'm like, hi, can I set up? And they're like, no, we don't know how to do any of that. Here's a microphone, like sure. So it just became.
They tell you they have. What's great is like having toured around stuff. By the way, the more I talk to you, the more I'm learning about you. Like we have like all these cool little things that are in common. It's kind of cool. Like because I was
also a worship pastor for a while.
So that's really cool. That's really cool. But it's funny because like in my band that I play in, like we do the exact same thing. Like it's funny because like we're this rock band, but we have that kind of that similar thing where it's like we do these comedy bits, we bring people up on stage, and it's like it's always just like improv stuff. It's just make stuff up, off the top of your head and just have fun. And I really appreciate people who do that. I appreciate other people who just have fun because I encounter so many people who are so serious. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like because they're trying so hard, and it's like they lose the fun.
It is an art unto itself, like the whole improv and playing with people. And I learned that from dueling pianos. Actually, part of I feel my best foot forward in comedy is my crowd work, because of dueling pianos, I know how to mess with that drunk guy. I know how to mess with that loud woman, you know? So it's just like, that actually has helped me in my comedy stage life, I guess, which is very small, very tiny life, but I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
Well, I think you're just I think you're doing a great job. I mean,
Thank you.
you're so talented, and you know, I want to share something with everybody, and I want to talk to you about this because my goodness, Sarah, I came across this. I mean, first of all, you got lots of videos out there. I will tell anybody that if you're looking for Sarah, I'm going to put down here just some of the different
There I
places.
am.
There you go. See, that's how professional we are. We have
You are
scroll.
so
Look at this.
pro. It's
Look
like,
at this.
what?
Just goes right through, just streamless, you know. If I was really professional, I would have made sure that all these were correct. I think I did.
Yeah, like,
But
who knows?
you
It's
know,
like,
it send you someplace else. That's a totally different, like, whoops. But I'll make sure that all of Sarah's links are down in the description below, so that you guys can find her and find her music and what she's doing there. But I found this video because obviously listening to your videos are just, you got the comedy stuff, but every once in a while, I mean, you got great chops anyways, but every once in a while, I love how you, man, you'll put something out there that, and I probably messed it up and I took it away. Oh no. Okay. I see where I see where I put it now. But you'll put something out there that you show off a little bit. And I found this.
I'm nervous.
I found this in one of your TikTok songs, and hopefully this all works here. Let me make sure that it's up here on the screen.
I see it.
Yeah, it's right there in the middle. And I saw this, and I was like, "Dang, girl! Like, really? Wow!" So I just want to play this for everybody. Real
High
quick.
Singers blow me away.
Oh,
Let's
I
do
didn't
this. Okay,
smoke
so
today.
I usually
Oh,
like
you
great
meant
songs
like-
on my high
oh,
note
okay.
in the chorus.
Such an asshole.
Oh, okay. That's high for a guy. I get that. So maybe I'm cheating. Still in my chest. That's high.
Hanging on there to be. If you have a high voice.
I start with, oh, then I switch.
No. No.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Dang!
High singers.
Oh my gosh.
Dang, Sarah. So look.
I hate watching myself, by the way. I'm just like,
Well,
oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh.
I'm
like,
I'm
stop
sorry.
moving your hands. Like, shut up. Stop talking so much. Oh my God.
Well, okay. I mean, if you don't want me to include that, we can go back to the beginning.
No. My poor soul can't take it.
But no, I'm telling you what. So look, I really appreciate, because I love girls who rock, man. I love that. I love being in a rock band with I told you I deal all the time with a feisty redhead myself.
Yes.
Who kicks my butt. She punched me in the face. We we do originals, but we also do, a ton of covers. We play bars, we play different places and stuff. And I'll never forget, we're doing Hit Me With Your Best Shot one day by Pat Benatar. And I reach over and, like, I did not see her out of the corner of my eye. Now I look for her, but
you live, you learn.
She's like right over next to me, because we're just not one of those bands that just stand there, you can't.
Right.
And so she's like doing this punch thing, and like I was down here and I swing back up and she punches me in the face. And I'm like, it's supposed to be symbolic. You're not supposed to really punch.
It's supposed to hit me.
But we chase each other around stage and kick each other and mess with each other. And it's funny because we have such this brotherly, sisterly thing going on. Yeah. But she's my feisty redhead, and she's my band wife. And it's so funny because, like, people will come up and be like, "Is that your wife?" And I'm like, Nope, I would kill her. She would kill me. She would kill me. But
I primarily work with men too, and I think because with dueling pianos, I always have a partner sitting across from me. That's the dual part.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, my partner at New York, his name is Chris. We just rad on each other, and it's so much fun. And people love it. And I think And I mean, I'm being a little biased, obviously, but I think the male female duo is the perfect like thing to do when it comes to entertainment because it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So again, I'm being a bit biased because I want to work. So
But you do. I mean, like just even listening to listening to your stuff on TikTok and abroad, like I love that raspiness that you have. I can hear that rock just come out of you. But you don't just do rock. You do so many different. Right now you're in the middle of this thing and I think you won. I don't know what the final I don't know what the final verdict on it is. And look, just because I'm a worship pastor does not mean that that I don't appreciate funny
of course
things.
not. Of course
But so you've been right now. First of all, I just want to say, so TikTok, before we even get into that, but TikTok, you're doing all this stuff. I know you're doing the dueling pianos thing. You got all that stuff going. And then obviously this last year has been crazy. I took my family out to Vegas actually for the first time because my family had never been out to Vegas. I'm originally from Vegas, got friends out there still, and my wife had never been, and I got 3 kids, and I wanted them to see the Southwest, and took them out. And it was different because I'm trying to go to I'm going to Circus where I grew up, going every week, and which is not the cool place anymore. Obviously, I'm surprised it's still there.
It's
actually
just a little dirty.
Yeah, I'm just.
I don't know. I don't know how it was when you were there because honestly, it seems like a really great family place to bring your kids, but it's just like, nah, not no more.
Yeah,
I don't want my kids to get crabs.
It's crazy. It wasn't that bad, actually. It wasn't that bad. I was surprised.
Oh, that's good.
We got some pictures and stuff. I mean, but they didn't have the circus acts going,
because
and so that was a thing. And obviously, a lot of the shows.
And those are so fun. Those entertainers are so talented.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they just have them out in the middle of the casino and stuff. It's really fun.
But that's where I grew up, like every weekend going, man. It was like, where are we going to go? It was cheap. It was fun. You could go and we enjoyed it. And so, but obviously things have, the whole state of the world and COVID and everything has really changed things for Vegas. I know.
It has. Yeah. The casinos for the first time, like ever, shut down. Like the strip was empty. It was insane. My boyfriend and I actually drove down the strip when it was closed and it felt like a ghost town. It was
crazy,
incredibly weird and sad, but
man, like an apocalyptic
like you think Will Smith is going to walk down the street with a bazooka on his back. That's what it felt like.
But yeah, so I mean, it is strange to see things like, but like once you've been to Vegas or you spent some time in Vegas, it's like, all these little things. I can imagine what that was like because when we went, I felt that it was very different as well, and it's funny. I finally proved a point to my wife. My wife loves the movie Con Air. And I every time I see the movie Con Air, I complain because of like the location of all the hotels in that movie when the airplane is flying through at the end and crash lands. And I'm like, no, there is no way that plane was that low and crashed all the way on the other freaking side of the strip. There's no way. And so
it's impossible.
It's impossible. Gosh darn it. And so I took her by and I showed her where those, everything was. I'm like, the Hard Rock is here. The Sahara is over here. Doesn't add up. And she's
Are you one of those people that if like one thing in a movie, like it just ruins the entire movie?
Not usually, Sarah, but that pisses me off. I'm sorry. like it's like that airplane is like, looks like it's 12 feet off the ground and there's no way that it gets from one end to the other, but I digress.
Yeah.
But so things have been different and you kind of stepped out to kind of keep yourself busy and do some stuff. How did you end up on TikTok?
Well, I was already on TikTok a little bit. I joined October of 2019, and I was just doing things in here. I was working full time, and so TikTok had come out in the early 2019?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And so I was a little late to the party, and it was very young at the time, and so even now, like it's still young, but it's just like it's not a kids app anymore. At that time when I joined, it was like, this is still a kids app. And so I was basically just doing like singing stuff and every once in a while. But then when my gig got canceled, I kind of focused on it purely just because I had nothing else to do. And it was a creative outlet for me. I was putting out, I wasn't really writing a bunch of stuff at that point, but I was doing old bits that I had been doing for years. And so really it kind of hit when I put out my Vibrators Are a Girl's Best Friend parody that I did.
Yeah.
And that was my first viral video. And then I was like, oh, you guys like comedy. I'm going to focus on that now. And that's kind of just where it like went pew. And I mean, it's unbelievable because I have been trying to do comedy stuff and music stuff on social media for 10, 11 years. And this is just the first time that it just, people are like, oh, who are you? What are you doing? And it's been kind of like a, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's terrible because I am out thousands and thousands of dollars because I don't have a job. But if this hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have gotten this attention, which hopefully when I do go back to work, now I have a job and social media attention that I can even step further in my career with. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is really interesting and amazing how in all the, obviously the bad things that have happened with this pandemic, there have been many, I think, people who have been able to find some positive things and being able to it's helped you think. I mean, even us here, you know, on a YouTube channel, you know, I mean, like I started this YouTube channel, like basically just with my phone, just, you know, propping it up. And
right.
It's funny that you mentioned like how professional we look, because my God, we were just like, I'm like literally trying to figure out how do I put text over this? Like,
Google it.
I guess that worked. And that's the thing, man, just like making stuff work, you know, it's like, oh my God, my phone does green screen. What the heck, you know, and just doing stupid stuff like that. But when this all hit, it was like, I learned things that you know, new technologies that I didn't know before, how to do things differently. And I see a lot of people. I started
producing my own music. I started learning Pro Tools and all this stuff. I mean, now I mean, I'm not a professional video editor, but because of TikTok, I've started producing my own comedy songs and putting them to edited videos. And it's just like, normally I would have never had the time to research and learn that stuff. And it's been such a blessing in a turd filled arena.
Yeah. But like you said, when you hopefully go back to being able to do what you're going to go back with this legion of fans now.
Yeah.
That want to come out and see you. I mean, we were just knowing that you were at New York, you know, I'm just thinking like, my God, you know, we were just there and I would have loved to have come in and seen you know what I mean? And when we come back out, you know, I definitely want to come out and see your show and
I hope you do,
you know, and everything. I mean,
it is such a fun time. I miss my job so much. And I know that's really weird because, you know, a job's a job and it does get mundane, but like I am the luckiest person in the world with what I get to do. I'm like I'll never grow up. I'm going to be a 60-year-old woman covering Eminem for the rest of my life. You know, I will promise.
I you know, I feel you on that because that's how I feel. I mean, like as a big nerd and as somebody, like I said, who has a room full of toys. Our whole house is like this. We live in basically a pop culture museum, but my wife is really great about it. And she loves it too. I mean, all her stuff is in our bedroom. Like she literally has like a Star Wars tapestry over our bed. That's Han Solo and Princess Leia.
Oh, wow.
I love you. And I know, you know, and that's all her. She came home a couple weeks ago and she replaced the curtains in our living room with these curtains of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, God, I love this woman. I love this woman.
Oh yes. Let's make a baby now.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny because for both of us, it's our second marriage. And so like, we don't have children of our own. We have 3 boys. And I joke with her every once in a while. I'm just like, come on, you know, I mean, I know we're kind of getting up there. I'm like, and I know, cause we just had one turn 18, one just turned 16 last week. And we have a 15-year-old. So it's like, 3 boys right next to, and every once
Oh
in a
my
while I'm like,
goodness.
oh,
You
come
guys
on.
are busy.
They're going to start moving out here pretty soon. Don't you want to try for that little girl? Because we'd have some awesome looking kids. My wife's musical too. She sings and I sing, and it's just like, yeah. But no, I think we're more into like, being able to chill and go do the stuff that we want to, like come see you.
Yeah.
Like when this is all done.
Yes, unfortunately, my stuff is not made for children. My boyfriend has an 11-year-old, and he's on TikTok. And I like to make fun of him and be like, "I'm TikTok famous." And
Yes.
you're not.
Now that's an interesting take. So how does he view you with your popularity on TikTok?
Well, I think that maybe he is cool with it because he says I block him from my stuff.
Okay.
My stuff is not for children, and I make that very clear in my bio. And it is adult humor. So, and if children tend to comment on my videos, or I will block them, just because I mean I know that kids are on there, and
Yeah.
I know that because my topics are usually sexual in nature, always comical, or there's cursing involved. I don't. He's not ready for it.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for the day where he is ready for it.
Like, I'm gonna drop like all this sexual stuff right here. Like, there it is, F-bombs and the whole nine.
And I mean, already, his dad is very funny, and I'm very funny. So toot toot. But he's so funny, and he's already like getting like a sarcastic humor, which can be super annoying at times because he's 11 and just like, child, watch your tone. But behind, I'm like, that was funny. Keep it up a little bit.
Yes.
But so yeah, it was weird because he was following me for a really long time. And then when I started getting negative feedback from people, I was like, nah, he can't be involved in this, because if people were to find him and then start attacking him, and it's just like, nah, that's why I don't put him in any of my videos. And I know other people with children feel the same way. Like the more popular you get, the less personal you tend to get. And that's kind of where I stand with that stuff. Social media is not where I put my family or personal stuff.
Yeah,
it's
I hear
for
you.
entertainment.
I hear you. Like we started our YouTube channel kind of as a family channel. And as the kids got older, because like we weren't doing anything controversial apparently until this year, and
apparently
then all of a sudden all the floodgates broke loose and stuff. But with that, my family has appeared less on the channel. Now my 18-year-old, he's on here, he's doing more things, but like the youngest one, he just has different interests, right? So we didn't have to be like, oh, maybe you shouldn't be on here very much anymore, with some of the stuff going on or whatever. It was like he already was like, hey, I'll just go watch the dogs while you guys do your thing, and
we have very different For You pages. Like for those of you who don't understand TikTok or are on TikTok, your For You page is based on videos that you watch and that you like. And he's 11 and I am and so I'm not even sure I would be on his For You page if he wasn't blocked. So it's one of those. I have young nieces too. They don't have social media, so I'm not really worried about it yet. But once they do, I don't know. I kind of am more liberal in the idea where it's just like, as long as children know that it's a joke and to understand. But that's even hard to explain because some adults can't take a joke. So it's like, so it's better just to.
I think it's all, honestly, in how you present it to kids. I mean, like my grandma was very open with me and my sisters. Like my grandma never even like shied away from any of that stuff. So even though I grew up in what some people would consider like, a Christian home, it was never like that. You know what I mean? It was my grandma was, but I think part of it is because, hey, I was born in Vegas. My grandma, she worked in the entertainment industry back before, she turned her life around and changed all that and sold her house, moved back to Michigan. But my grandma was never shy
Yeah.
about that stuff, you know? And so with our boys, we kind of take the same approach. Like we're not trying to expose them to everything.
Sure.
But in the same token, it's like we're not, you don't shy away from the hard questions. You don't shy away from the, you know, the realities of life, you know. But like you said, your stuff, you know, is more adult oriented. And we were joking before because right now you're in the middle of this back and forth that I think is absolutely hilarious.
It's a perfect example. I mean, Mama Cuss's Gwen, she has these young little ones, and her name is Mama Cusses. So she doesn't shy, and she talks about it all the time, how she'll curse in front of her kids, and her kids are allowed to curse once they understand a negative cursing and just using it as a word. I actually learn a lot from her. I love her TikTok. She's so great. But yeah, we just kind of started this thing, and it's been really fun. It's the Disney song curse off, and the rules is that we're allowed to put one F-bomb in a Disney song at a time around. And we've gone for 16 rounds now. It's just like, we have got nothing better to do. I mean, she's raising children, and she's playing with me, and it's really fun.
But you're dropping bombs. You're dropping bombs left, and not just the F-bombs. You are dropping some amazing things. But what you've really become known for a lot this past summer, I mean, not just your regular stuff, but you've been doing these Florida man and Florida woman songs.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that and how that idea came up, because I love, the first time I heard, Sarah, you do a Florida man song, I laughed my butt off because I did a radio show for like 5 years, and my name is Enosh. And so I had this little segment called the Nosh Pit. And I would read these crazy news stories. They were supposed to be from all over the world, right? And I would find these, clippings and stuff, and we'd do this little bit. More times out of none, it was Florida people doing crazy stuff, and now it's got to become one of those things. So tell us a little bit though about how you got that.
In defense of Florida, because I am a Floridian, I was born and raised in Florida, and Florida is amazing. I miss it every once in a while because I'm in Vegas. The thing that I miss most about Florida is the green. I miss green. Everything here is so brown. Yeah. But in defense of Florida, the reason why you get all those stories out from Florida is because it's a public information state. And where other states have just as insane, crazy people, but they keep it on the down low.
You just ain't telling nobody.
And it's not public knowledge. You can't like Google, like, it's got to be something really, really big for it to go, universal and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's my defense of Florida. But to go back, I've been asked this question a dozen times, and I really can't tell you where it came from. It just was an idea. Florida Man is very popular. I've known about it for a long time. And to even tell you the date and my anniversary is coming up. My first Florida Man was May 8th of 2020. And it was a complete accident. I Googled Florida Man, May 8th, found this crazy headline. And I was like, okay, let me see if I can put this to music. And I just started, and I wanted it to be like a happy kind of vibe. So I was just like, chunk, chunk, chunk. So I was trying to put it to this like happy polka kind of beat. Mm-hmm. And I tended to go towards this specific melody that I had already known because of my musical theater background. And for those of people who have seen Florida Man Friday, you would know that the melody is from Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, the song Potiphar. And finally, I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do this melody. I can't come up with a better one. It's funny. And honestly, at that point, I was just like, it's one video. Who gives a shit? Yeah. But it took off. And now I do 2 every week I do a Florida Man Friday and a Florida Woman Wednesday, you know, to be politically correct.
There you go.
Want everybody to know women are just as batshit as men.
Equal time.
So I'm very PC up in here.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
That's kind of how it goes. And like I said, my anniversary is May 8th, and I will have an entire year gone through. And I'm going to keep going until I have a Florida man for every day of the year.
Well, I tell you, you've got it stuck in my head. I mean,
it's
literally,
very catchy. Yeah.
It is so catchy. The other day, I was trying to pull into the gas station, and this guy cuts me off, and I literally start. I was trying to pull into the gas station, but then this complete jerk just cut me off, and now I'm really pissed off at him. And I was like, God, I love Sarah. And like my wife is just looking at me like, what's that? And I'm like, and she knows what it is. I'm like, yeah,
I don't know.
It's stuck in my head. These Florida Man Friday things are stuck in my head, you know?
And I'm thinking about the future because Florida Man is now becoming, that's what I post mostly on my YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube page, all of my Florida Man is up there. I just started this year, January 6th, I think, started posting Florida Woman. So I'm going to be that's my regular thing on YouTube. So subscribe to me on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Hit that like button.
Look at all those. Look at all those going past. There they go. There they go.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about it. I'll figure it out one day. Social media, but yeah, I've been thinking about the future of like where I can take Florida Man. Eventually, maybe make it into a musical, or I will have to rewrite the music because, like I said, it's not mine. So copyright, and there's free speech with parodies, as long as the parody is similar to the original intent, then it's free and I don't have to pay for it. But I mean, Andrew Lloyd Webber is a genius, and I would probably want to pay him his dues for that. And so it's just thinking about like maybe putting an album out of Florida Man Friday 2020 and stuff like that, thinking in the near future of what I want to do with that. There's so many options because it's endless content. Endless. That's it. And so I kind of just stumbled on it by accident, and now it's what I'm known for.
Well, like I said, you do such a great job, and I got some more things, but you know what? We've teased everybody, I think, long enough. Let's let you show us. You brought your piano. I'm sure you drug your piano in here. Was that okay? Like we are set up for that. We are set up for that.
Well, this is something that I will do eventually one day in my stand-up shows. Once I have an entire year, I'm going to randomly ask an audience member what their birthday is. So what's your birthday?
September 24th.
Okay. And again, I don't have an entire year yet. I'm still working on it. So the closest I can get to your birthday is and one day it will be much more professional than this. Okay, the closest I can get is September 25th. Okay, so
all right, I'll take it.
Random Florida. So it's Florida Man story time. You can't make the shit up. And this is where I would edit. On this day, September 25th, a Florida man was walking across Main Street Bridge and saw a couple walking a bike. Florida man asked for money. News article said more like yelling. He took her bike from her and threw it into the water. The man with the owner of the bike tried to intervene, but alas, the Florida man also threw him off 30 feet. Like a bridge over troubled waters, crazy man throws you in. Florida man is more troubled than the water. and he will throw you in.
Yeah. Woo. Love it. Love it. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I have a storyline to every date, and then I kind of have like a joke at the end of it. Usually it's music, and I'm just making my way through the year. And one day I'm going to have an entire show just of Florida Man.
That's fantastic. Well, the one that I played is the, in the intro to the show.
Oh my God.
When you started with the, but
I had a hard time getting to, and this is something I do for my Patreon members. I have bloopers of
that's awesome.
my Florida Man stuff, because there's sometimes where I can't make it. I can't make it through the song without just dying laughing. And that was one of them. My blooper reel, which is just for my Patreon members. So if you're interested in that, my Patreon is on my website, sarahhesterross.com. But
we'll link it. It'll be there.
Yeah, they get that special content every week, and it's just me making a fool out of myself, laughing at my own jokes. And that one, I read the article and immediately thought of Shaggy. It wasn't me. And so I'm like, I think this is the best thing that I've ever done in my life.
And that's even better, because like I said, it's so funny, because like everything, all these things that are coming up, we make the Shaggy joke here around our household all the time. Like, it wasn't me, and like the boys didn't even know what that song was, and my wife will just go, wasn't me. Yeah. So, do you have anything else for me?
On the counter, it wasn't me. And he's jumping on a sofa. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite songs, because it's so stupid and so like, oh my gosh, you cannot be serious.
Yes.
It's perfect.
It's like, this is my serious pop song.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. Cool. Good for you. Now he's a millionaire, so
you can't argue with it. I mean, it is what it is. Do you have anything else for us?
Anything else?
Anything else you want to play?
I guess I could play you one of my originals. I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Speaking of your originals, you have, and I couldn't really pinpoint in trying to put this together. You have this song "Savage Daughter" that is out. That seems to be a pretty big deal for you, and so I wanted to touch base on that. Too. I mean, you don't necessarily have to play that, but if you want to, play whatever you want to. But tell people a little bit about that, maybe.
Well, Savage Daughter was a song. The original Savage Daughter is a cover that I produced and recorded for myself. But the original is called "I Am My Mother's Savage Daughter," and it is written by an artist in the sky. It's like a Nordic community, like religious community. And I actually heard the song first on TikTok, and the original audio that I heard didn't finish the whole verse. And so I was like, oh no, I wonder what the end of it said. So I looked it up. I found a recording of it. It was like a live recording. I think it was the original author's live recording of it. And then I put me on TikTok doing the full chorus with the ending included. And people just went crazy over it. It's a beautiful song, just gorgeous. And it obviously connected with so many, it connected with me. So, and so many people after I posted that video asked me to make a full recording of it. And so I did, thinking it would be a really nice Mother's Day gift for my mom. So I released it with a video on Mother's Day of 2000, and probably a day that will live in infamy in my brain, because 2 months later, the original author accused me of stealing her song. And she posted this thing on Facebook, and all of her fans and her followers just attacked me online like I have never experienced in my entire life. And it was really very uncomfortable because I did everything legal. Like I bought a license to cover the song. It's called a mechanical license, and I put her name on it. So any royalties that I would get from streaming or sales, I would 50% of that would go to her.
Yeah,
being the original artist. And I'm not sure that anybody in that sect knew that. And so they came at me saying I stole her song, I'm a thief, I'm a liar, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, with drama online, it's just like you can't explain it. Like, I know that I did it right. The only thing that I did not do correctly is I didn't purchase a sync license for the video on YouTube. And the video got taken down. She flagged it for copyright, and she had every right to do that because the license that I purchased wasn't for a video. It was for sales and stream. So in that hindsight, I didn't even know about a sync license until I researched it. And you know, you live, you learn next time.
But you know, Sarah, we wouldn't know anything about, you know, controversy here, like people all of a sudden getting mad at you for no apparent reason and just acting, you know, like well, hold on, I pulled you up. I meant to pull me up here, but which is weird. StreamYard, I'm so professional, right, guys? We wouldn't know anything about that. Everybody who watches this channel, no, we wouldn't know anything about it. But I will say this, Sarah, just listening to you talk, like as a musician, listening to you talk about things like even like your parodies, right? People, you know, parody law is an interesting thing, and I'm a huge Weird Al Yankovic fan.
Yeah.
The first date that me and my wife went on was to Weird Al.
No way.
Heck yeah. And because I knew that if she liked that,
it was like, this is
we're good. We're good. But, you know, but he talks about that all the time. It's like, you know, he would always ask permission of everyone that he ever did you know, and you don't have to do that. It's a parody. It's a legal thing. You can go and do what you want to do. Like you said, you buy the license, you do the thing. But like even listening to you, you know, talk about like Andrew Lloyd Webber and your Florida Man thing, like that's something that you're doing. But like even just hearing you then just talk about, well, I would want to do this and I would want to make sure that people, it shows your character, Sarah. It shows where your heart is. You know?
I was very angry, and my character was dwindling in the moment. I was ready to get on there and be like, "You don't know," and you know, and there was a moment where I was like, "Do I need a lawyer?" Like, and finally, I did end up talking to a lawyer, and they're like, "No, you did it legally. If anything, the distributing company is the one that's going to get in trouble for this, but they won't because they're covered. That's what the mechanical license is for." So I wasn't pleased with my initial reaction to it, but you know, time passes and you're like, hindsight.
You live and you learn. You live and you learn. I could have
handled that a little bit better. But you're right. You live and you learn, and next time, hopefully. And I mean, that could have been avoided. The whole thing could have been avoided if I had asked her first, if I had known how to get in contact with her beforehand.
Yeah.
Like you said, I didn't have to do that. I didn't think it was necessary. But you know.
Well, you know, I feel listening to you, like I get an idea though of where you're coming from, and you know, and even when we went through this, you know, around the same time, ironically, that you were going through that, you know, like I said,
there was something in the water at the time, you know.
Oh, I guess so. And I tell you what, but I look back on that now, and I just put out a video for our Patreon and members of the channel, and I said, you know, sometimes you look back and you go, was it me? Did I do something, or you know, did I cover my bases? Did I do right by everybody? And sometimes people just get pissed off, and people just, they take things wrong, and they just, you know, they react to stuff, and just like you know, you get frustrated and you're typing out whole things. It's even worse when it's on your phone, because it's like, you know, and it's like taking forever, and you know, you're messing up and you're going back and it won't work, and then it's like, then you get it all typed out and you're like, gosh, should I send that? And it's even worse if you hit send and then you want to delete it, and you know, but you know, life is life.
to end with the topic of Savage Daughter, it was never a money thing for me. I mean, even with the amount of attention that it got with streams, it got over 1 million streams, and which was really great. Like I said, people connected with it. I took down everything that would make money off of it. It is now just for streaming purposes, mainly because it attached to Indigenous women so like fervently. And now these Indigenous creators on TikTok have been using the sound, probably mostly because it uses the term savage, and that is tied heavily to their history, and so they're taking it and using it as a positive thing, that they are their mother's savage daughter and that they're using it in a powerful way. And so there was a time where I was just like, screw this, I'm taking it all down. I don't want any part of this woman. I don't want any part of the, like, I just want to, but I couldn't bring myself to take everything down, because that would have hurt those creators that have used it. And so I kind of, I that's to explain to people when they ask me, like, well, why didn't you just, like, if it wasn't about the money, if it wasn't about the attention, why didn't you just take it down? Well, that was my reasoning. Not that I need to explain myself to anybody, but
no,
you know what I mean.
but I think you do a great job there, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So, while you got something else for us, I am going to bring in she's a savage as well, but a different kind of savage. I'm going to bring in the lovely Tiff-tastic to come in. And,
oh, Sarah, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And
I love your stuff, and I am so happy to be able to stand behind a kick butt chick who's not afraid to put it out there and sing it if she has to.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. You guys are such a cute couple. Look at you.
Thank you.
And it was awesome to see your side of the country, though, too. It was beautiful.
It really is, and growing up in Florida, I wake up sometimes and I forget, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded by mountains and they're so beautiful and they look different every single day. It's gorgeous. So, and it's something that everybody should see in their lifetime for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Yeah, they loved it. We have friends who live out in Pahrump, and we went horseback riding under the stars, and
phenomenal.
Yeah, did all kinds of fun stuff with them.
So fun.
Because we flew out, and then we rented because my family, we used to travel back and forth between Michigan and Vegas a couple times a year and just drive. And so we flew out, and then we rented a van and we drove back because I wanted them to see all of the Southwest and experience all that stuff that I had experienced being on the road with my family, as a kid. So
and we figured one drive on one way there, we wouldn't kill each other versus both back and forth.
Right. Yeah. I get that. I do. I get that.
Yeah. Okay. So we've given you time now. Did you pick a song for us?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you want a comedy song or do you want because I've been doing Florida Man stuff and do you want like I call them like my normal songs. They're not funny.
I will leave it up to you if you'd like to sing us one of your normal songs or whatever you want to do. I'm game for whatever you want.
Okay. So this song is called
I do that too.
You do. I tell him, I'm like, you forgot your own words, and he's like, no.
Okay, this song is called Life Gives You Lemons, and it is on Spotify and iTunes, and it is a normal song. To preface this, if you know who Bette Midler is.
Love Bette Midler.
Okay. Bette Midler is like my goal in life, her career. She is a comedian in her own right. She actually started doing cabaret shows in New York and singing backup for other people's bands and stuff like that. And all of her cabaret shows had so much comedy in it. And I mean, if you see any of her live shows, she does all these original comedy songs. One of my favorite of hers is Fat As I Am. If you haven't heard it, it's so funny. Anyway, but most of her popularity came from her normal songs. And she has had a career of both of those things. And so that's kind of what I strive for in the sense of like, because I don't want to choose. I don't want to choose between comedy and regular music because I love them both. And so basically this is like, don't make me choose. I'm going to do whatever I want.
Awesome.
So this is called When Life Gives You Lemons. When life gives you lemons, you better make yourself a drink, 'cause life goes on. I don't know who needs to hear this right now. Baby, get up. I know there's a lot going on, but hold your head up. When the news of the world got you down, put it on hold. It's a waste of time to be mad with things you can't control. No. Listen, I know it's easier said than done, but when life gives you lemons, go on and make yourself a drink, 'cause life goes on. Yes, life goes on. I said when life gives you lemons, make yourself a drink. I said when life hands you lemons, go on and make yourself a drink. Life goes on.
Oh,
Hey, that is so awesome.
oh,
Yeah, go through a whole song. It's just like, is it over yet? So
no, that.
But the full version produced is on iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify and anywhere you can find music. There I am.
Well, I tell you what, Sarah, your voice. I love your voice. I love your voice.
Thank
It's
you.
so kick
The
butt.
raspiness.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. When you hit those high notes, like I said, when I saw that other video, you hit those high notes. I'm like, come on, get out of here. Like, really?
It's really, and Enosh, that is, it's so nice to hear people like my raspiness, because for a long time, you know, going through classical training, I was trying to get rid of that for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, just because it's not a clear tone and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But now I really kind of found my own sound with it. And even with the video that you showed earlier, I call that my screamo voice, because because of my vocal injury that I had 8 years ago, I don't have a belt anymore. I have to switch it, which I went through years of vocal therapy to figure that out and get that. But now I'm back on track, and I'm healthy, and it feels good to be able to perform and do it. It was very scary for a minute. I thought my career was done.
Oh no.
But, so I'm really grateful for the healing that I got to go through.
Man, well, I'm so glad. And Tiffany, I know you may have a question or two but I wanted to show you this, Tiffany, because I don't think that you saw this. So I was joking with you, Sarah, before we went on about how sometimes you see somebody and you don't know where you know them from. And I'm not going to play the audio on this, but I do want to show this because Tiffany will get this. So I played. That is.
Yes, that's
awesome.
So I played with a guy. Named John. He was part of a band that I put together. We went on tour. I was telling you to back up this guy who was like my musical hero. And so it was like 80s rock, a bunch of that type of stuff. And so he brought out the keytar because that original band, like they had the keytar and everything. And that guy is how I met Tiffany. So we're always talking about the keytar. And so I loved, and I remembered that I had seen this video before, and it stood out to me because the keytar, and then obviously it's all black. The all black keys there.
Oh
So
yeah, this was
Yeah,
probably
very
one of
cool.
the best purchases that I've ever made in my entire life. And I went to NAMM the year before, and I talked to a Roland rep in Vegas, and they got me a little deal on it because they are expensive. I'm not sure I would have been able to afford it at that time, but I just love it so much. It is so cool. I feel so cool with it, except when I get pictures of me like looking down at it and I have like 14 chins. That's not
well, the other thing,
best.
see, Sarah, it's kind of freaking me out too, because the thing is like you got the guys backing you up, and this is like, I mean, like Leslie in our band, she doesn't play the keytar. I wish she played the keytar. That'd be pretty fabulous. But we used to do a cover of Pink's song.
I was gonna say they have pink wigs.
Well, they got the red wigs because she's
Red wig.
Oh yeah, but yours is pink.
I have a wig that looks
Oh.
exactly like this because we did this Pink remake, and so me and the other guys put on these pink wigs. I mean, I swear to God, I could have been in your band because this looks exactly like what we looked like jumping around. So
That's so funny.
yeah.
I love these guys because actually the guy playing guitar is one of my dueling piano partners,
Mhm.
and the bass player is actually a pretty famous comedian, Dennis Blair. He
looks familiar.
Yeah, and the drummer is Mike Beans. They are just some of the best musicians in Vegas, and they're up on stage acting a fool with me.
Absolutely.
And it's so fun.
I love
I think I called them the Blood Clots. That my band was called the Blood Clots. Oh gosh.
This joke, by the way, fabulous and on point. And the 80s thing, like getting people clapping, I swear to God, Sarah, that's like totally up my alley. Like I love this because we totally cheeseball this stuff and do this like as well. So seeing you do this stuff, man, is just fabulous.
I love this video. It makes me happy.
Yes, it's absolutely fabulous to come across this and see like I'm not alone. There are other people who love to just have fun
on stage
and play music. I mean, don't you agree, Tiff? This is cool.
I would go to that show.
Absolutely.
Yes. Got one.
Yes.
Well, actually, while I was watching the interview backstage, I guess you could say, as soon as I saw that you had all these different places and besides TikTok, I was like, I'm going to go on YouTube and subscribe and like.
Yay! I do not. And you guys are obviously so surpassing on YouTube. You guys have figured it out. I don't get it. I don't get YouTube.
That's how I feel about TikTok. We can help each other. We can help each other.
Teamwork, dream work. And I hope that this helps because hopefully I'll get some TikTok audience your way. But YouTube baffles me. But I wanna do well on YouTube because I know that if you are successful on it can pay very, very nicely.
Yeah, it's and that's things you don't really even have to do a lot, really. I mean, and but a lot of it is I think it's like anything, Sarah, it's just connecting with your audience.
Yeah.
I think if you're genuine and your audience sees that you're trying to connect with them, they respond to that.
Right.
And that's what we try to do here.
Find a groove.
Yeah.
You guys do a really good job too. A really good job.
I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Tiffany, did you have anything else? I will say too, Sarah, in honor of you, usually all of our color scheme is yellow, but I changed it to red for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I did. Yes,
I actually did all my
microphone
website
too.
Oh yes. This microphone isn't the best microphone in the world, but it's so pretty. Like I have better microphones to use, but I just don't because it's kind of my thing now. I don't know.
Well, if you make it look good, you just got to stick with it.
Yeah, right. Aesthetic is sometimes better than the actual quality. I don't know if that is right, but
so Tiff, did you have? I defer to my better half there, Tiff. If you had anything here at the end that you would like to bring up.
Well, the only question that I really had is, I'd say in and with the pandemic, I heard you explain, the dueling pianos, how nice it is to have like the guy and the girl kind of thing, how it does, the good back and forth. But do you find it hard at all being a woman not only in the musical industry, but in the comedic side. I know you were saying how, sometimes you try doing that and it doesn't work as well. But as a woman, do you feel like there's any more pushback, or do you feel it's easier now being online and then trying to get back into your job?
I actually find that being a woman in like dueling pianos in like a live setting actually benefits me, because the majority of it is men, and so I tend to stand out. So that actually helps me. I can't obviously speak for other women in the industry, but that's what I found. The hard part for me as a woman in live entertainment is getting other women to like me. And and it's like a psychological thing where I can't come out of the gate with usually my audience is anywhere from 21 to 55, 60. So it's a very wide age. And so I come out, I try to dress down. I don't, and again, this is just me. This is what I have found works for me. I don't show a lot of skin. I try not to be too vulgar in nature coming out of the gate. Obviously, I'm going to be me. I'm not going to like feel like I'm a princess and then all of a sudden devil, like that's not, that wouldn't work either. So I kind of have to like gradually get into, doing more of the dirtier stuff and adult attire. But that's what I have found as a woman I have to do in my field to get the women on my side, because unfortunately women have been trained to see other women and immediately judge them or write them off. And if they are too sexual, they're like, oh, they're a slut. Or if they're too vulgar, like, oh no, I'm not into that comedy. So, and I know other people, especially comedians, female comedians, tend to do it differently, that they go out on stage and the first joke they do is an abortion joke, or like, and it's like a shock value that's not right. That's not something that I do. I have found what works best for me is to gradually get into that. And granted, with the comedy, it's harder because now that I'm online, I don't have that time to like, to get to know me kind of time, where in a 2-hour dueling piano show I do. So that's my best answer to that question. In the industry itself, I do think women have it a lot harder, mainly because our visual is so important. If we don't look a certain way, we're immediately written off. But I do think it's getting better. I think more people are talking about it, and more people are bringing it up to the point where it's just like, no, if this person's talented, and I want them. And that's actually what's good about social media, and in the sense that maybe the followings are a little bit smaller, but loyal followership is really what people are after, especially me in a position where I want people to eventually buy tickets and come see my show. Like, I'm not really concerned with a vast majority of social media success. I want those people to like me enough that they'll get in their cars and come see me somewhere.
Absolutely.
Good springboard.
Yeah. So, right, exactly. So, I don't know if that answered your question completely, but
It does. It's just because I think it's awesome that, you can put things out there. And I understand that too, because I'm on a group on YouTube called the League of Mayhem, where it's like literally nothing but women, but we just sit there and we talk. And it's like, because sometimes you get that stigma, even as a nerd woman, that, oh, you're not supposed to know about Superman or the backstory or, stuff like that. So it's kind of fun to kind of bring in, kick butt, women, no matter what industry it's in, to show that, look, I can do just as good a job. I have fun. But like you said, you're using this platform as a great springboard to build it up, to just kind of bring it out there, which I think is great. And it's awesome. And women can take, notice of that and do that themselves too.
And I think it also helps find your people. I mean, like you said, there are women out there that are just like you that are dealing with it. So once you put out some content, someone's going to grab a hold of that, and then your circle is going to, stay your circle, but it's going to grow, and those people are going to find like-minded people. And that's another thing that I love about TikTok is they really do that. They put, I mean, it can hurt at times. They put you like in a box, and they're like, this is what you do.
You can't do anything else.
Right. And
well, you could be like my friend Matt Bosler. I don't know if you've seen him.
I think I have. That sounds
he's
really
the guy
familiar.
who does the same song over and over and over
Somebody
again.
better call the law.
But he just does it differently. So I've gotten to know him. He's another one that I've gotten to know through TikTok. And he was one of my first interviews ever because I reached out to him. I was like, oh my God, like this guy is so hilarious. I totally am vibing with this. But that's like his thing, right? So like, it's hard for him because he's got a YouTube channel too, and he does all these hilarious things. And I've showed clips, and I've had him on the channel, and people look at his stuff, and they're like, "This is hilarious," but they know him,
right?
The guy who redoes the same song over and over and over again, and so like they're not looking for him to be that funny. And he's got a podcast. He had me on his podcast, and you want to talk about being scared? Like I wasn't scared that we had to start over again, but like he starts talking like he's like this super cool macho guy, and that like I'm this nerd guy that like like who are you? Like I know that all of us listening to this are super cool and we like girls and stuff, but this guy. Like, if you're going to talk about a nerd and stuff, and I'm realizing I swear to God, the entire podcast, he was in character.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
Yes. And so I just had to like, okay, fortunately I'm pretty quick on my feet myself. And so I was like, oh yeah. Okay. I get what you're doing there. I'll follow you. But yeah, I get it. Like
girls scare me. I don't know.
Yeah. But you don't want people, you want people to respect the fact that you're doing like the Florida Man, Fridays and the Florida Woman Wednesdays and those things. But you also, like you said, you want people to be able to see you also as a whole. And that's hard sometimes in the little spectrum of social media, like one little 1 minute, things where it's like people, they think that that's all you're about. And so, yeah. So hopefully something like this, hopefully the more that you put out, the more content. That's why I love the fact that you do serious songs as well. That you're really putting yourself out there because, like I said, you're so talented.
Thank you.
And I was really glad I was so glad when I reached out to you and you said, yeah, let's do it. When you want to do it, I was like, that's awesome. It just showed me that you are as cool as I think you are.
I try to be. I really do. Like I said, I get in my moments, and I'm just like, everybody, shut up! Don't talk to me. I hate this. But I'm just really having a really good time with this, and I'm hoping that, like you said, it's a springboard to my next step and whatever life throws at me.
So speaking of that, as we bring things down, is there anything that I don't know of that maybe you have upcoming, or maybe that you have planned, or anything that we should know about what you're doing?
Well, I do have something in the works right now with the Boston Comedy Lab. It's with two other comedians, a sketch comedy writer from TikTok and a stand-up comedian. And basically it's a show that we're going to be putting on bi-monthly or bi-weekly. And we haven't done our first one yet. We're still in the planning process, but it's called Binge Comedy.
Okay.
So the idea is that we get guests on to show every aspect of comedy. Like what I do is musical comedy. What Brian does is sketch comedy. What Kathy does is stand-up comedy. And so we're going to bring on guests to show what they do, and then, stuff like that. Cool. That's actually starting in February. And I'll have it up on, hopefully, like I said, it's still in the planning stages.
Sure.
You know how things just like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do it. Take over the world.
All of it.
3 months later.
Remember when we were gonna do that thing? But no, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and it's really exciting. So keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna try and do it on Streamlabs. Maybe there's something I can chit chat with you later about, because your show is so pro. And this is what I told them. I told them, Enosh, I was like, listen, if I'm gonna do this, I'm not putting out shit because
Right.
I
I
have
wouldn't.
seen people put out productions online, and it is really easy to do. It's really easy to put out terrible content.
It is.
So, and that's what I told him. I was like, listen, unless it looks good and sounds good, I'm not putting my name on it. But
As we say around here, exactly.
exactly. Ooh, thank you. I mean, there's so much to learn.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I know. I hear you. You know, and that's things because the technologies are so rampant. You know, I mean, like you're talking earlier about learning Pro Tools and stuff like that. You know, I mean, just different things like that. It's like so many people now are producing stuff, and some of it's really great, and then some of it is you go. Okay.
You can tell that they're in the process of learning.
I just tell everyone this: all the tools in the world are awesome to have, but if you don't have the ear, if you don't have the kind of the common sense and the ability to just do it, all the gadgets in the world aren't going to help you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I've played in great bands and recorded in awesome studios, and I've recorded on a little 8-track recorder. But man, we bought a 4-channel compressor. We put about 4 mics out, and we made the best drum sound that I had heard of any local band around. And they were like, "Where'd you get those drums recorded?" In my basement. And they're like, "What do you have in your basement?" I'm like, "I just got this little digital 8-track recorder." And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Yeah, because an ear still means something, and being able to really learn your craft and what you're doing means something." And so I hear you. I hear you. Well, we'll definitely be we'll be looking for that for sure. So
hopefully by the next time we come to Vegas, it'll be open and we can come see you and see you live.
I hope so. If you do come back to Vegas and make sure you let me know that you're coming, and I will reserve a table for you at the bar in Times Square.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so
so
much.
welcome.
Well, Sarah, it's been great getting to know you, and I can tell you where you will definitely be seen all the time, right here on my phone. You can find her on my phone, and you know what? You should find her on your phone. She's worth literally downloading the TikTok app for.
Oh my gosh!
Let me tell you something,
guys.
Let me tell you something. I have found that TikTok is one of those interesting things. You say the word TikTok, and anybody who just downloaded it as a lark, and they go, yeah, that wasn't for me. Because look, there's a lot of junk on TikTok. There's a lot of scantily clad women dancing around doing silly stuff, and people limp sync into stuff, and it's just crazy.
Once you get past that,
I'm telling you right now, and I think I did. I think
good stuff.
Every once in a while, I still get something that I'm like, what the heck? How is this for me? How is this for somebody? Tell me, God, why is this
find
for
the
me?
right rabbit hole.
But
right.
But for all of that, I find somebody like you and some others who are awesome creators who are putting some really great stuff out there. And I don't care if it's on, like Matt told me, when I asked him about TikTok, he said, the thing is, man, he's like, it's like any other social media. It's like any other platform. You got to get on it. You got to make it the best of it, of what it is. And you can't be worried about look at YouTube. There's a ton of garbage on YouTube. I mean, billions of things on YouTube that's garbage. But you know what? There's always those gems.
Yeah.
And so
honestly, that's kind of why I'm sticking with TikTok, because I feel that it can be YouTube one day. Like it's going to have that respect. Because I remember, just like 10 years ago, and I see these kids and I hear that they're making like millions of dollars by doing these prank videos. Like, this is so stupid. And really, I'm just like, I'm so jealous.
For everyone,
only I could do that.
Yeah, for everyone, you're like, all right, guys, we're gonna prank my girlfriend. All right, so yeah, look, I totally got a girl over here.
Million views, and it's like
what the heck? Oh my gosh! But oh well, we can talk after the show about how jealous we are of everybody else's success, and then leave it at that. But hey, Sarah, once again, thank you for being here. You've been a joy and a pleasure, and I look forward to talking to you more. But guys, all of her links are going to be in the description below. obviously they've been going across here at the bottom and so much more. Go visit her YouTube channel for sure. Give her a subscribe. Obviously, if you're on TikTok, go check out her stuff there because it's just fabulous. And we've been talking about it. And obviously, she proved it by singing some stuff for us here today. So go check her out on all the socials and all the places where you can get your music. All right. So, like I always say, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter or that the thing that you like or you enjoy doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter if it's on TikTok. It doesn't matter if it's on YouTube. It doesn't matter, if it's, maybe old videos that you're watching of your own family doing stuff, and having fun. Whatever it is.
Yes, I love it.
VHS, man, all the way.
Bring it back. I love it.
Whatever it is, enjoy it, and don't tell somebody else that their fandom doesn't matter or the things that they don't like matter. Respect each other. And as long as you do that, you'll always have a place here in the Poindexter Lounge. Until next time. Oh, dang it.
What happened?
It didn't record.
No.
Gotcha.
No.